I don't know much about your relationship with Janelle.
Yeah, these are loving relationships.
Yeah.
Sex is part of it, but that's not a focus.
But was it a physical relationship where
Robyn and Kody had a very long courtship compared to the rest of us. It is not really appropriate for a married man to have a long courtship. It started with a whisper, just a stray comment on a Facebook fan page tucked between GIFs and eye roll emojis. Did anyone else notice Kody's net worth tanked? No source, no citation. But within hours, that little whisper exploded into a wildfire. Rumors began swirling that Kody Brown, once perched atop a polygamous empire worth millions, was quietly bleeding cash. And the reason, allegedly, Robyn, yes, Robyn, the kind of safety combined with just that depth of connection, she's very vulnerable. And I was at the time, and there was a depth of connection that I do not believe I have ever had. The so-called favorite wife, long accused of tilting the family balance, was now rumored to be burning through what little was left of their collective fortune. And Kody, according to insiders, he wasn't just watching it happen. He was allegedly helping her, slashing assets, refinancing property, and digging into emergency funds, all to keep Robyn's spending sprees afloat. The numbers haven't been confirmed on paper, but here's what we're hearing from those close to the situation. Thank you. That's just adorable. Okay, good job. Kody's personal net worth, once estimated to be close to $1 million, has reportedly plunged, not slowly, not over years, practically overnight. And while most families would be clutching their wallets in a panic, one person in the Brown household allegedly hasn't skipped a beat. Robyn has been spotted wearing new boutique clothing, driving what looks like a recently purchased SUV, and ordering extravagant home decor deliveries just weeks after fans noticed that several Kody pass parcels quietly shifted status in the county records. Coincidence? Maybe, but for those who've been keeping score, it's starting to look like a pattern. And it's not just material things. Kody and my money has always been separate up until Christine and Janelle chose and asked to be out of the family financially. Sources allege that Robyn has been pushing for upgrades, furnishings, appliances, even a private playroom renovation for the kids, all while Kody, instead of drawing a line, is allegedly liquidating more and more of their long-held assets to say yes. One source whispered that Kody recently held a private meeting at a Flagstaff title office. No cameras, no wives, just one-on-one paperwork that might signal a cash-out deal. It's all unconfirmed, of course, but between the whispers and the sudden silence from the rest of the family, fans are asking, how much has he already sold off? And just how deep does this financial hole go? Because if the rumors are true, the empire is not just cracking, it's collapsing. And that's when the receipts started surfacing and things got even messier. They say money talks, but lately it's been screaming from Robyn's driveway. First came the SUV. Fans with eagle eyes and zoomed-in screenshots claimed they spotted Robyn driving a gleaming champagne-colored Escalade retailing well above $80,000 depending on the trim. No dealer plates, no low-end model. This wasn't a hand-down or a frugal find. This was a power move on four wheels. And for a family supposedly stretched thin after multiple separations, canceled shows, and dwindling real estate profits, it raised eyebrows loudly, especially when just weeks earlier, viewers watched an emotional Janelle agonize on screen about whether she could even afford to keep her trailer on Coyote Pass through the winter. If that were to happen, if somehow we came in and bought the debt, we would make sure Meri got her share and Robyn and Kody could take what was left. But the SUV was just the beginning. According to unverified claims from someone who allegedly worked at a Flagstaff interior design firm, Robyn recently placed a series of premium custom orders for furniture and home accents, totaling nearly $40,000. That tip-off came anonymously, so it can't be confirmed, but it matches up with a string of odd sightings outside Robyn's home. A rotating cast of delivery trucks, a white-glove team installing something massive on the second floor, and a new security system panel being mounted on the front porch. For fans who've tracked the family's money drama for years, it wasn't hard to guess what was happening. Robyn was allegedly remodeling again. Insiders whisper that one of her recent indulgences included a hand-carved dollhouse custom oulette to match the architectural style of their home. Price tag rumored to be north of $15,000. And that's not counting the actual dolls. Many of which, according to fan forums, appear to be collectible. Ashton Drake or Franklin Mint editions, easily running hundreds per piece. It all adds up fast. To fast, say those close to Kody. Because while the outside world sees Robyn's children enjoying a curated wonderland, multiple sources claim the rest of the Brown kids, especially the ones from Janelle and Christine's sides, are quietly tightening belts. I always pretty much want what's fair, and I feel like Meri has been treated very badly by Kody for years. One even allegedly skipped a senior trip due to budget changes. None of these purchases have been officially acknowledged. Of course, Robyn hasn't spoken on the record about her spending, but Kody, he hasn't denied a thing. And that silence, paired with the pattern of opulence flowing only in one direction, has turned suspicion into outright fury among longtime fans. It's not just about the money. It's about the message that while one wife reaps the perks, the others seem to face scarcity, stress, and sacrifice. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Around the same time Robyn's spending appeared to spike, Kody started quietly unloading assets fast. And what he allegedly gave up next sent shockwaves through the family like never before. According to insiders with ties to the Flagstaff real estate scene, something strange started happening with Kody's holdings in early spring. One by one, the parcels tied to the Brown family trust began changing hands. Some were refinanced, others quietly marked for sale, and a few even dropped off public listings entirely. Fans tracking the Coyote Pass land were the first to notice. It's like he's scrambling for liquidity. One real estate blogger wrote in a now viral thread. And if the rumors are true, that's exactly what was happening. Sources allege Kody has been offloading or borrowing against every tangible piece of property he can just to funnel money toward Robyn's household and keep their ultra-culled lifestyle intact. The biggest red flag, a reported equity loan pulled against the home Robyn and Kody share, allegedly taken out under a revised marital asset structure. Now, there's been no official statement confirming this move, but some sleuthing fans claim a new lien appeared on the property just days after Robyn's SUV was first spotted. Coincidence? Maybe. But it lines up eerily well with a separate rumor that Kody had to cash out part of his retirement savings to float household expenses when their residual TLC payments began to slow. One source close to the family described it this way: it's like he's selling the kingdom to protect the queen. That same source claimed that Kody also looked into liquidating a life insurance policy that had been intended to support all of his children equally in the event of his death. And yet, if these backdoor deals are real,
I'll tell you, my relationship with him was very different than Christine and his. I never knew till later on that they were really struggling, but he and I never had.
It's clear the benefits are flowing in just one direction. Insiders say not a dime of these alleged cash injections has been used to help Meri, Janelle, or Christine, nor their kids, some of whom are working full-time while trying to finish college or raise babies of their own. The irony here is brutal. Kody spent years preaching about the virtues of shared sacrifice, collective responsibility, and building one big family. But now, the perception is that he's gutting the legacy he once claimed to protect, all to bankroll one corner of that family while letting the rest fend for themselves. And it's not just real estate. Unverified reports say he's also been shopping around for private buyers for several classic motorcycles and collectible items he's shown off in the past. Anything not nailed down or emotionally irreplaceable might be up for grabs. The kicker. Some believe this isn't even about supporting Robyn's lifestyle anymore. It's maybe about image. That Robyn's appearances, her curated home, her vehicle, her wardrobe, they're all part of a desperate attempt to project control and status while the walls quietly crumble behind them. And when the other wives found out what Kody may have given up to keep up appearances, that's when the gloves allegedly came off. If there was ever a moment when the cracks turned into canyons, it was when the other wives allegedly learned just how far Kody had gone to keep Robyn comfortable. According to sources close to Janelle, she was absolutely blindsided by the discovery that Kody had refinanced part of the Coyote Pass land. Land that was supposed to be their shared retirement dream. One insider claimed she found out not through Kody himself, but via a well-placed tip from someone working in the title office. And let's just say she didn't take it well. Janelle had already spent a summer sweating through triple-digit heat in that tiny RV, trying to hold on to her piece of the family dream. To find out, it might have been quietly mortgaged to bankroll another woman's lifestyle. That allegedly was the last straw. Christine, too, was reportedly appalled. Even though she's technically out of the marriage, sources say she was still shocked to learn Kody may have touched assets that were once considered communal, especially if some of that money was meant to support the children. And according to someone close to the situation, Christine is watching the financial maneuvers closely to make sure none of it affects her daughter's access to what's rightfully theirs. The same source added that Christine has kept every legal document, every account, summary, and every emailed promise made during the divorce negotiations. She's not stupid. The source said she's prepared to act if things get shady. And then there's Meri. While she's been the quietest of the original three, insiders say she's not oblivious. In fact, some speculate she's been consulting a financial advisor behind the scenes to ensure she's not held liable for any communal debts tied to the Brown family name. Remember, Meri was on some of the original business and property paperwork, even if her personal relationship with Kody dissolved years ago. If Kody is moving money around or restructuring ownerships to support Robyn exclusively, it could have ripple effects Meri can't afford to ignore. All of this alleged maneuvering has left a bitter taste in the mouths of many of the Brown kids. One unverified Reddit comment, reportedly from someone with direct knowledge of the family, claimed that some of the older children are furious, especially the boys. They feel like their futures were traded for dollhouses and designer handbags, the poster wrote. True or not, the sentiment reflects what many fans have been saying for years, that the imbalance between Robyn's household and the rest has finally boiled over into open resentment. What's most heartbreaking is how fast this domino effect seems to be moving. The land is being carved up. The money is being redirected. And Kody, according to those watching closely, he's not just ignoring the fallout. He's allegedly doubling down. But it's what happened to the kids' futures next that truly lit the fuse. And it might be the one thing even Kody can't control. The money trail may have started with land deeds and decor, but it didn't take long for the consequences to land squarely on the kids. Specifically, the older children who once believed because they were told that their futures would be secure, thanks to the sacrifices their mothers made during those early chaotic TLC years. But according to sources close to the family, those dreams are vanishing fast. One particularly heartbreaking rumor that a college fund set aside for several of Janelle's and Christine's children has either been paused or outright drained. There's no official paperwork confirming it, but fans noticed something strange. Two of the Brown boys who had been planning to enroll in out-of-state programs allegedly changed course at the last minute and not by choice, according to a person familiar with the family's inner workings. One of the sons was told that the money simply wasn't there anymore. No details, no explanation, just a dead end. The same source claimed that when Janelle pressed Kody for answers, she was met with deflection and vague promises about future planning. Meanwhile, the spending at Robyn's home never seemed to slow. From catered birthday parties to yet another rumored shopping trip at an upscale Flagstaff boutique. The flow of funds has looked eerily one-sided, at least from the outside looking in. It's not just tuition. One unverified but persistent rumor alleges that Sable Christine's daughter underwent a serious spinal surgery. Had certain post-op treatments denied reimbursement through the family's shared health plan? Christine reportedly covered the difference herself with help from supporters and a GoFundMe that was quickly taken down after public backlash. While none of that has been confirmed by Christine publicly, the whispers haven't stopped, and the implication is clear. While Robyn allegedly spends thousands on sentimental decor and emotional needs, medical costs for the other kids may be slipping through the cracks. Then came the social media clues. Wendlyn, in a now-deleted comment thread, hinted that some things her siblings were promised had mysteriously disappeared after a particular financial shift in the family. While she didn't name names, many fans interpreted the statement as confirmation that something was happening behind the scenes, something affecting the next generation far more than the original four wives ever anticipated. What makes it also difficult to stomach is the silence. Kody has not gone on record about any of this. Robyn, as usual, has stayed far from the camera when the conversation turns to money. But fans aren't buying the Innocence Act anymore. Because for every post of her in a cozy cardigan by a glowing fireplace, there's another Brown kid allegedly working 2 jobs just to pay rent. And that growing divide, it's not just emotional, it may soon turn legal. Because what's coming next could pit the Brown family against itself in a way they never saw coming. Whispers of money problems are one thing, but whispers backed by mounting debt, that's when people start paying attention. According to 2 separate fan-led investigations, on Reddit and Facebook, public financial records tied to the Brown family suggest that credit card balances are ballooning. One sleuth even claimed to have discovered evidence of multiple late fees and penalties, connected to a shared business account once used by the Browns during their TLC heyday. While those details haven't been verified by the Browns themselves, the timing lines up a little too neatly with Robyn's recent spending splurge and Kody's alleged asset purge. Insiders now believe the family may be caught in what they're calling a slow-motion debt spiral. It's kind that sneaks up quietly until the bills start hitting like an avalanche. The theory goes something like this. With fewer revenue streams than ever before, no new seasons of the show confirmed, no functioning group businesses, and multiple households no longer contributing, Kody and Robyn may be relying heavily on credit just to maintain appearances. One family friend alleged that the couple has opened at least 3 new lines of credit in the last year alone, including one tied directly to an online luxury goods retailer. That same source also claimed that interest payments alone have become unsustainable, forcing Kody to make minimum payments while diverting other funds from what was supposed to be a joint family trust. And if that wasn't concerning enough, there's the mortgage. Public property records show that the Flagstaff home Robyn currently lives in was refinanced not long ago. Now, refinancing in itself isn't necessarily suspicious, but the terms, that's where things get dicey. A new 30-year loan at an elevated interest rate in this economy. It raised alarms, especially when paired with a sudden appearance of a second lien, often a sign that the homeowners have tapped into a home equity line just to stay afloat. And if you're wondering what happens if those payments lapse, let's just say the bank doesn't care whose name was on the original show contract. Insiders are reportedly growing nervous. Not just the ex-wives, but also the kids who may inherit more than just emotional fallout from the choices being made today. Several adult children have allegedly begun meeting privately to discuss whether any of them could be held liable for old business debts or property tax burdens that were once registered under now dissolved LLCs. There's even chatter that a former family accountant has been called back in to sort out what's still owed and who's on the hook. If this spiral continues, fans fear it could end with legal action, not from outside creditors, but from inside the family itself. Imagine Janelle, Christine, or even one of the adult kids lawyering up, not out of spite, but out of sheer necessity. And that's exactly the nightmare scenario some insiders believe. Robyn's been trying to avoid with one move that shocked even her fiercest critics. If Robyn thought she could calm the rising tension by keeping her head down, she clearly underestimated just how loud silence can be. Because instead of diffusing the situation, her quiet demeanor and perfectly curated image have only poured gasoline on the fire. And when she allegedly made her boldest financial play yet, cutting off access to the family's old PayPal account, everybody noticed. That account, according to longtime fans and former business records, was once used for shared family purchases, online income deposits, and even fan donations during the height of the show's popularity. But sometime recently, insiders claim Robyn had the login credentials changed and didn't tell anyone. The alleged lockout sent shockwaves through the Brown family's extended network. Janelle, who had reportedly relied on that account to split certain communal costs in the past, was said to be absolutely livid. One person close to her claimed that Janelle discovered the account was no longer accessible when she tried to transfer funds for a shared property expense and received a password. Error? No warning, no explanation, just a digital door slammed in her face. Christine always wanted to keep her cool in public, reportedly reacted with icy silence, but privately. Sources say she's now convinced that Robyn is intentionally trying to erase the last remnants of financial unity in order to consolidate control, and it didn't stop there. That same source added that Robyn's name now appears solo on several online shopping receipts that were once sent to a joint household email. What that suggests is a deeper shift, not just controlling the money coming in, but fully managing how and where it goes out. Fans spotted a few of these receipts leaked on a message board, including one for a bulk order of high-end skincare products and another from a doll collector's site totaling over $1,000. It's not that the purchases themselves are illegal. The secrecy, the sudden gatekeeping, that's what eyes Rion on edge. Because in a family that was built on the idea of open books, shared sacrifice, and one big spiritual household, a move like that feels like betrayal. And that betrayal is sparking backlash, not just inside the Brown clan, but across the fan base. Reddit threads are filled with fury. One top comment reads, "This woman is spending like she's on Real Housewives, while the rest of the family is stuck in a Dave Ramsey nightmare." Others are calling for a full forensic audit, demanding anyone, hold Robyn and Kody accountable for what they allegedly did with the family's shared resources. Some say the motive is fear that Robyn saw the writing on the wall. Lawsuits. Audits angry kids with legal rights and decided to shut the gates before the flood arrived. But if that's true, she might be too late. Because what fans didn't expect was how loud the public reaction would get. And the fury that came next, let's just say it wasn't limited to Reddit. It started as a few snarky TikToks, fan stitching, old clips of Kody boasting about providing for his wives with footage of Robyn unpacking luxury handbags. But it didn't stay playful for long. Within days, the outrage spilled across every corner of the internet. Twitter threads went viral. Facebook groups exploded with speculation, and even casual viewers who hadn't watched Sister Wives in years were chiming in with disgust. The central question, how did Kody let this happen? How did a man who once preached about unity and equality end up overseeing what many now see as a full-blown financial divide and allegedly aiding Robyn's spending spree at the expense of everyone else? One trending post showed screenshots of Robyn's home contrasted with the modest living situations of some of the older Brown kids, asking, where's the equality now? Another fan reshared clips of Janelle in her RV living off solar power and propane and captioned it simply. Meanwhile, Robyn's getting her third interior redesign. The tone wasn't just judgmental, it was furious. because viewers weren't reacting to fashion choices or redecorating preferences. They were reacting to a deep emotional betrayal. After watching these women share everything for over a decade, fans now feel they've witnessed a slow-motion implosion, $1 at a time. Petitions even started circulating. One change. ORG petition demanded that TLC refuse to renew the show unless full transparency around the Brown family finances is offered. Another, with thousands of signatures, called for an investigation into alleged misuse of business funds tied to the now-defunct jewelry venture. Robyn and Meri once promoted together. While these petitions likely won't result in legal action, the sheer volume of public interest reveals just how invested people are, not just in the drama, but in the accountability. And it wasn't just strangers on the internet. According to a well-placed source in the reality TV community, at least 2 former TLC crew members have privately voiced concerns about what they witnessed during production. While neither has spoken publicly, one reportedly told a friend, "It was clear by the final seasons that only one household was being protected." That same insider hinted that several former production staffers would be willing to speak out if given the right platform. All of this has reportedly rattled Robyn more than anyone expected. Insiders claim she's grown increasingly reclusive, allegedly refusing to appear at family gatherings or even answer messages from her older stepchildren. She knows she's become the villain, one source said, but instead of trying to mend things, she's pulling the drawbridge up. Kody, meanwhile, is said to be defensive and volatile, pushing back on any suggestion that he's mismanaged money or shown favoritism. But his lack of visible support for his other kids, his continued silence as Robyn's lifestyle flourishes, fans say that is the answer. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, whispers started swirling about lawyers. Not just threats, actual serious legal inquiries coming from the people Kody least expected. If there's one thing Kody never expected, it was being taken to task by his own flesh and blood. But according to insiders, that's exactly what's on the table now. Because in the face of unanswered questions, unexplained account changes, and swirling rumors of misused funds, some of the adult Brown children are reportedly seeking legal counsel, not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. One family insider shared that a few of the older kids, particularly those who contributed to family businesses, lived on Coyote Pass, or were promised support for education and health needs, are now exploring whether they have any legal standing to demand accountability for assets they believe were appropriated. And if that sounds extreme, well, so is watching your college fund vanish while your stepmother orders crystal chandeliers. What triggered this shift wasn't a single moment. It was the accumulation of too many unanswered red flags. The locked PayPal account, the rumored doll room renovations, the property transfers, the silent treatment. One source close to the family claimed that at least one child had been advised by a lawyer to request copies of any financial documents they signed as minors, particularly those tied to past TLC earnings or shared property agreements. Because if Kody or Robyn used group earnings to fund private purchases without full disclosure, that could open up a legal can of worms bigger than anything seen on the show. And that's not all. Christine, who's become something of a quiet power player since exiting the family, is allegedly keeping very close tabs on the situation. According to one of her friends, she's already consulted with an attorney to ensure her portion of any past earnings or child-related expenses are fully protected. That same source added that if push came to shove, Christine would absolutely go public with receipts, not to be vindictive, but to stand up for her kids. She's not scared of Kody anymore, the source said, and she's not going to let him steamroll the next generation. Janelle, too, is reportedly considering action, but not necessarily through the courts. One insider claims she's gathering documentation, screenshots, emails, bank statements, and maybe weighing a tell-all of her own. Not a memoir, but something more targeted, a public breakdown of how the money was really spent. And Meri, she's said to be watching all of this unfold from the sidelines, tight-lipped but alert. Though she's distanced herself emotionally, she still shares financial history with the Browns. And if things spiral into legal drama, her name could end up on documents whether she likes it or not. All of this has put Kody in a defensive crouch. Insiders say he's become increasingly paranoid, allegedly calling meetings to get ahead of the narrative and asking Robyn to limit her online purchases, at least for now. It may be too late. The narrative is already out, and with receipts trickling into fan spaces and speculation boiling over. The question now isn't if someone takes legal action,